everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel, and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, we're back in the world of Nordhaven, which is obviously the world that came with the Businesses and Hobbies expansion pack. I am still exploring this world. There are still so many lots that I haven't built on that I still want to explore, and for some reason with this one in particular, I'm just still not over the new world and like wanting a break from it. Usually what happens when new packs are released, I'll feel the urge to build there obviously for like a week straight, and then after that I kind of need a break and I kind of need to do something else. And I do know that my previous video was actually one in Brindleton Bay, so technically I did take a break, but I really didn't because I did build that one before this pack was released. And ever since it's been out, I've literally only been building in this world. I think it's so gorgeous. I love it so much. I love the neighborhoods. I know there's only 2 neighborhoods as opposed to like 3, but they're still so different from each other, and I feel like the vibes are different. And so for this one in particular, I'm building something very modern, which I haven't done yet with the pack. Obviously the pack comes with essentially like 2 entirely different build styles, one of them being more like townhouse, like very, you know, like downtown townhouse, that sort of a thing. And then the other build style that it essentially comes with is this very modern Nordic, just like modern, I guess, style that also has some like retro aesthetics to it. So that's the style that we're embracing today, actually, more so like the very modern aesthetics of it all. And I'm really enjoying that. Like, I really had so much fun building this because I just totally hadn't really done a very modern build with the new stuff ever since the new pack came out. So this is my very first one that's actually super modern. So yeah, I'm very excited about that, and I just had so much fun with it. And I know that a yoga studio has been highly requested. I've been sort of like going around asking people here on YouTube what they want to see, like what sort of businesses they would be interested in seeing come to the channel, and a lot of people actually said that they would love to see some sort of yoga studio. I also saw a couple of comments where people were like, we would love to see like a yoga retreat type thing with goats, which I still think is so cute. I really want to do like a Sulani build where there's going to be like yoga on the beach, like a resort type thing, and then maybe I can add in some goats. So that is definitely something that is on my list as well that I still really want to do. But for this one, I really wanted to do a modern small business yoga studio here in Nordhaven that could be operated by just one sim, and then there's also going to be an apartment on the 2nd floor. So I was definitely envisioning a sim living here, running the yoga studio, teaching the yoga classes, and then there's also a little cafe area, like a little coffee bar area attached to this build. I don't know what it is, but you know, any chance I get to include a coffee bar situation to whatever small business I'm building, I will take that chance and I will run with it. There's just something about small coffee shops added to whatever kind of business I'm building that I just really, really enjoy. And it also makes a little bit more functional. It's also a nice way to make some extra money as a sim. Like if you're using this in your gameplay with a small business functionality in the new pack, of course, then that is a really nice way to actually sit down and make some extra money. Obviously, I feel like you'd have to hire either just like a vendor or just an employee to run the coffee bar, especially if your sim is teaching the yoga classes and like running the yoga studio of it all. Then I feel like you definitely need to spend some money on hiring a person to run the coffee bar. But still, like, sims actually, if you set getting coffee or tea as one of the business activities, they definitely will. Like, they buy a lot of it and it definitely adds up pretty quickly money wise. So it is a really nice way to just you know, make some extra money that way. And especially for a yoga studio like this, I feel like it would be so cute to just go here for your yoga classes, but then afterwards maybe you want to hang out with your friends or the people that you were in the class with, socialize a little bit, you know, that type of a thing. I thought that would be so cute, as opposed to just like a yoga studio where you take your class and then you leave. It's so nice for like community building purposes, you know, where you can just hang out with some friends. I'm really thinking about this like in like a real life sense. That's what I would enjoy. But I feel like for the Sims, that's kind of the same thing. Even if you're not the sim running the yoga studio, I still think it'd be so much fun to actually go here. You would obviously have to go through gameplay and like actually move in a sim real quick and have have them start up the business and set up all the business activities and stuff like that. You would have to do that probably. But then that way, if you have that all set up and you go to play with a different household, you could definitely still just like travel here and take the class and buy the coffee and just hang out. It would definitely be functional that way around as well. So yeah, I think that would be so cute. But also just running this place as a sim, like living here, owning this small business and living in the apartment up top, I think would be so fun. I think it would be something really cute to work towards if you're doing, say, like a rags to riches, or if you have like a teenager that you're kind of wanting to play with and maybe you want to start their own like legacy with them. I think it'd be so cute to just kind of have them work towards having enough money maybe to like buy this place or something like that, and like, you know, really do some gameplay this way. I feel like this would be really very much suited towards a young adult sim that is not yet starting a family, because the apartment on the second floor is only a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Obviously, you could have a baby in there, and maybe if you did some renovations, there could be another bedroom, but I do think it'd be very crammed, and I'm not sure how you would be able to go about that. But it's obviously something you could just sit down and like kind of fiddle around with. But still, I feel like I could really see, storyline-wise, I could really see this young adult sim living their dream. They finally like have enough money saved up to open their own yoga studio. Maybe this used to be like a very old building before, even though it definitely looks very newly built and like very modern, but maybe there used to be just like the remains of some sort of warehouse or whatever, and they completely like renovated it from the ground up, and now they have this really cute yoga studio and an apartment on top and the coffee bar. And I don't know, I could just really see this being someone's dream where they were finally able to open a yoga studio of their own and teach their classes, hire employees, and grow from here. Like maybe at some point they're gonna outgrow this and they want to start a spa, or, you know, own that retreat in Sulani where we're gonna have goats and yoga and all that sort of stuff. I think that would be so cute. That could definitely be like their follow-up dream, like their follow-up business or something. I could definitely see that. But yeah, that's essentially what we're working on today. So color scheme wise, you can see that I was really embracing the orangey lighter wood tones here, combined with this gorgeous green color. This green wallpaper is also from the Businesses and Hobbies expansion. I love that color. I think it's so pretty, especially with this reshade that I'm using, which by the way is always listed in the description if you're interested in using this reshade preset. It's gorgeous. I love it so much. And yeah, I think it looks really good with these, with this green color especially. So yeah, I was embracing the warmer, like more orangey wood tones, also gray concrete for like a little bit of more industrial vibe is what I was going for. Obviously adding back some warmth with that wood tone. And then we also have a lot of gray. I'm using gray subway tiles in the bathrooms and in the showers, in the locker rooms. Then in the cafe area, I really try to warm everything up a little bit more with some wood tones, and we also have some pink wallpaper in there, which is really cute. So it's just a little bit more cozy in there. But yeah, for this yoga studio itself, it's only really small. You could probably tell already. I was definitely fiddling around with the floor plan for this for the longest time because I just didn't really know where to place the locker rooms, where to place the bathrooms. I wanted there to be some showers, and it was definitely a little bit of a puzzle because it's such a small space, and I wanted there to be one like big open space for the yoga class, obviously. But I managed to figure it out. So we have at the front of the building, we just have like a nice entrance and a little check-in desk and such, and off of that area is actually where we have the toilets. And then when you walk through the yoga studio is where we have the locker rooms and some showers. So those things are separate from each other, which I guess makes sense. So yeah, that's how I did that and how it made the most sense. And then actually next to the yoga studio itself kind of speaks for itself. It's just like an open space where I placed a bunch of yoga mats. I tried to fit in as many as I possibly could. So we have one instructor's mat and then 6 yoga mats for other Sims to like join the class, which I feel like is plenty. When I was playtesting this build, I didn't really have more than, I don't think, 3 Sims at a time when I was giving the classes. So yeah, but it's also because I'm building this in a save file where I just don't have that many Sims running around. It's my build save file. So I don't know, maybe if you place this in your own save file and you have a lot more Sims, then maybe the classes will be a little bit more crowded. Obviously, you have to work your way up towards being able to welcome more customers in your shop when you're playing through the small business system. So that is definitely something you can work up towards as well, which I think is so much fun. I just really like the small business system. I have so much fun with it, and I definitely want to do some more gameplay with it as well. But I've definitely been playtesting all my businesses that I have built so far, and I just think they're so much fun. It's so much fun. It just definitely gives me the urge to sit down and play longer, you know? Because I just feel like it's a lot of fun and something a little different. But here on the side, you can see that we're working on the coffee bar that I really wanted to feel very cozy and warm and inviting, but also maybe it could be like a fun space to grab some coffee, bring your laptop, and get some work done, you know? I know that's not technically something you can do in The Sims, but real life wise, I feel like this would be the perfect cafe for that, where maybe in the morning you first take your yoga class and then you take a shower and then you head over to the cafe to grab a coffee and a snack and get some work done on your laptop. I feel like that would be so cute and definitely a way I would spend my morning if that was the case. Like if there was a place like this near me, that would definitely be something I would do for sure. But yeah, here you can see I definitely am embracing the mid-century vibes a little bit with these bar stools. I love this bar stools on that pink pattern. It's just so gorgeous. And then I also use that really pretty rug in there with the fish on it, the colorful fish. I love that rug. It's actually one of my favorite swatches. It's gorgeous and the colors are great. And then off of the coffee bar, we also have this hallway that I actually set as a residential space. So from that hallway and then the staircase going up, everything is a residential space. And then you enter into this apartment, which is really small, but I am obsessed with how this one came out. I just love it so much. I love the colors. The warm orangey wood tone of the floor combined with the really light dusty pink color on the wall, and then the green subway tile for an accent. And then I also use a lot of gray in here. You can see that in the counters, like the gray concrete sort of looking counters. I think texture wise and color wise are so pretty. And I just had a lot of fun with the color schemes in here. I don't know what it was about this one, but it was flowing together so nicely. And I guess it's just like a lot of my favorite colors too, because I love green, I love warm wood, I love dusty pinks. So I feel like maybe, you know, it was just right up my alley personally as well. So that was a lot of fun for me. But yeah, here in the apartment, it's only a 1-bedroom apartment, and I started off by decorating the kitchen. I wanted to make sure that I had enough space for the kitchen, and I thought that I wanted to just place this green subway tile as a backsplash in the kitchen. But then I loved that green accent so much that I actually just decided to paint the entire wall and just have like an entire accent wall as opposed to just a backsplash. So that's what I did. And then I finally had a chance to use one of the new fireplaces from this new pack as well. For whatever reason, I haven't used these fireplaces in any of my builds, and I don't know why, because I love these fireplaces. I think they're so pretty. And finally, I almost forgot about using them actually. And then someone in chat, as I was building this over on Twitch, one of my friends actually reminded me that I should try to place one of the new fireplaces. And I'm so glad that she suggested that, because I love how it looks in here. It's so nice and modern and just such a vibe. Like, it feels so luxurious. And then I really wanted to use this couch here from the Refined Living Room kit by Sim. I'm obsessed with this couch. Style-wise, color-wise, it was perfect for this apartment, so I really wanted to use it, but I felt like this was the perfect space for a sectional sofa. So I actually kind of merged the 3-seater and the love seat together. It's not perfect, like you can definitely tell I merged them together, but I kind of tried to hide the overlap by placing a bunch of pillows and some plushies on the couch to also just make it look a little bit more cozy, but I was definitely trying to hide the weird like glitchy overlay, like where they overlap basically. But I feel like it's not perfect, but I feel like it works out pretty well. And then the combination of the coffee table from Tiny Living and the little stool from the new pack I thought was so fun, so I decided to sort of combine those two. And I was also excited to use this like TV unit kind of table. I think it's listed as a coffee table, which is kind of awkward because it's very tall, like it's very high. So I don't know, it feels a little weird, but I feel like it's perfect for under a TV, like a little TV unit. The way I placed it, I feel like it looks really nice. And then I obviously combined it with a matching chair from the Refined Living Room kit as well, which I thought was so cute. Here I actually stacked some clutter, which I love how it looks, but unfortunately, I'm not sure if that's just my game, but I think it's a glitch overall, where the game loves to delete your stacked clutter, and it will just leave the one little clutter piece, like the base clutter piece, if you could call it that. That one will stay, but then everything you have stacked on top of that. So here, for example, I have 2 stacks of magazines and then also some headphones on top. The headphones and the second stack of magazines, they got yeeted. They're gone. Also, I placed a little open book, flat lying book on top of the magazines on the coffee table. That one also got yeeted. I could go through and place it again, but I think that if you get it off the gallery, maybe it'll also be gone. Or if you play with it once and then leave your game and then come back later, it'll probably be gone. I don't know, it's just a glitch that's been bothering me for a while because I love to stack clutter. I love that we have more items that are stackable now, but then it just doesn't work. So that's just very unfortunate, and I really hope they fix that soon. I'm not sure if they've actually addressed this glitch. They may very well have already addressed it, and I'm just not aware of it. But yeah, I do really hope they fix that at some point. And then here we also have a small entryway, which is just really, really simple. I placed a coat rack. I also placed like a nice bookcase in the corner and another plant. And then I decided that this sim would have a cat. I thought that would be absolutely perfect. I could totally see this yoga sim, like sim that loves yoga and wellness. They would have a cat. I don't know why. Maybe I was thinking of myself because I do love yoga. I love Pilates and I love cats. And so, yeah, I feel like I also love this color scheme. I love this furniture. So maybe I was just like subconsciously sort of decorating this for myself. In another life, I would love to run a yoga studio. You know, that would be so cozy and so fun and just so nice to be like active and teach classes. I don't know, maybe subconsciously I actually was building this for myself. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, I just thought that this was so cute here. By the window, I placed a full-size dining table actually, and I sort of placed it awkwardly against the window with only 2 chairs, which was bothering some people in chat, which I completely understand because it's not like a way it makes sense for the most part, but I loved how it looked here by the window. It looks very intentional where they just placed the window, like the table against the window and then the chairs facing the window so you can look out when you're having your food or when you're sitting there with your laptop getting some work done. I don't know. It feels sort of intentional, so that's why I decided to do it anyway. And then there's also a small glass door leading onto a balcony out front where I just placed a small love seat and also a meditation stool. I thought that would be really cute. Off camera, I actually also placed a meditation stool in the yoga studio, and I set meditating as one of the business activities when I was playing through the small business functionality. So I thought that would be a cute additional little thing to do as an activity. If you're choosing to run this as a business as well, then you could do that. There's only 1 stool though, so there's not a lot of them or like a lot of space for a lot of sims to do meditating at the same time, but I feel like that's okay. And then here in the bedroom, I went for a slightly darker color scheme to sort of make it feel more like a bedroom, you know, a little bit more warm, a little bit more like a warm embrace sort of cozy little bedroom vibes. And I also placed another cat tree here in the bedroom. I thought that would be so cute. And then we just have a really small, very basic bathroom here. I did have to place it in a litter box somewhere, so I decided to go for just a shower instead of a shower tub combo. And then I placed a litter box next to it. I thought that would make the most sense. I also decided to just add in another little window here in the back. I wasn't sure how that was going to look from the exterior, but it actually ended up looking fine. It was no problem whatsoever. And I feel like it's just nice to have a little window in the bathroom. I don't have a window in my bathroom, and honestly, I wish we did. It would be so nice. So every time I have a chance to do that, I will. But that's it for this build, so let's quickly jump into the game and I'll show you this build in real time. So here we have the yoga studio in the game. I really like how it looks here. Let me just zoom out so you can get a better sense of the area. This is the more modern area of Nordhaven, the more industrial / modern, I should say. There's definitely some more modern buildings on this side, but then over here, there's some more like warehouse type builds and whatnot. But I really like how this is surrounded by water. It's so pretty. So over here, we obviously just have the front of the build. I feel like it looks very inviting. I love this sticky outy little balcony that we have out front. I think that's really cute. There is an entrance into the studio over here. There's a separate entrance into the cafe over on this side, but obviously you can also get everywhere from the inside as well. The back of this is not very interesting because I barely had any space left, and I definitely wanted it to look very clean. Normally I would go through and add some more like messy city-like clutter for builds like this, like maybe some trash on the floor, but for this one I particularly just like it looking very clean. So we do have a dumpster back here, but then for the rest, literally nothing else. We do have some greenery over here, some benches to hang out, some solar panels, but then that's really it. So let's go inside. This is where you would enter into the yoga studio. There is a small sign-in desk over here, which is where I placed the ticket kiosk as well. And then off of this area is where we have the bathrooms. So just 2 little bathrooms and a couple of sinks. Very simple, very straightforward. And then through this door here is where we have the yoga studio itself. So it's definitely small. It's more on the cramped side of things. Routing wise, it's not the most ideal, but you know, it is what it is. And I do like how it looks. Definitely embraced the green. I added these like decorative panels from Eco Lifestyle. We have a bunch of mirrors around. There's some decorative weights here and a small meditation stool. Obviously some music. And then off of this area here is also where we have the lockers and the showers. So that's very self-explanatory, but that is right there. And then there is a small glass door over here that leads into the cafe. The cafe is very colorful and cutesy. I love the colors and then the gray counters. I just really like that color combination. So yeah, you can grab your coffee, maybe a well-deserved treat after your yoga class. And then we just have a bunch of tables and chairs. I really like this pink table from Discover University here by the window. It's such a vibe. I really enjoy this. And then through here is where the residential area basically starts. So we have a hallway with just a staircase leading you up to the 2nd floor here, where we have an entrance into the apartment. So the apartment has 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, but I feel like it's still pretty spacious. So when you first walk in, there is an entrance over here. I'm obsessed with this little light, by the way, from the new pack. I love the color swatches, and I just feel like it's such a cute little light. So I placed that here by the front door. We have a bookcase, some storage, and then over here is where we have the kitchen. I really like this kitchen and the storage with this tall cabinet. There's a bar area here with a laptop as well, and then just your kitchen necessities. And then there is a table here by the window. Behind this curtain is a door that leads to the tiny balcony out here, where I feel like it would be so cozy to just sit down here and enjoy a coffee, read your book on your Sunday morning. You know, I can completely see this. But then over here is where we have the living room space. There is a really nice frame TV here, and I'm obsessed with this fireplace. I love it so much. Also, this couch just combines really nicely with the aesthetics of this place. And then here you can see I was definitely trying to hide the overlap of the couches with some plushies and throw pillows and stuff. I feel like it works pretty well. And then obviously there's a cat tree in the corner by the window as well. That would be the perfect spot for the cat to look at birds that are sitting in the tree, now that I think about it. Then off of the entrance here is where we have a bedroom, which is a little bit darker, but still very warm and cozy. Also very neutral at the same time, except for the rug. I just thought that that was the perfect little colorful touch in here. I do know that it's the same rug I used downstairs in the cafe, but I just loved it so much I wanted to use it again. For the rest, this bedroom is very simple. We just have a cat tree and some storage. And then off of the bedroom is where we have the bathroom. So sink, shower, toilet, and then obviously a litter box as well. But that's actually already it for this build. So this yoga studio and apartment is up on the gallery. It has the Great View Law trait, which is a trait that cannot be removed. I didn't even realize that, but yeah, it does definitely have beautiful views. So it's not a limited pack build. I used a lot of different packs, but I feel like the price of it is not even that bad. It comes in at just over 81,000 simoleons. It's still a lot of money, but I feel like it's not that bad. I built it on a 20 by 15 in the world of Nordhaven on the old Foundry lot. So if you want to place it in your game, then that's where it goes. But that's going to do it for today's video, so I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download this build off the gallery, like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmery Sims. You can follow me on Instagram if you like. My username on there is Simmery Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so, and if you'd like to get notified every single time I upload, just click that little bell icon. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/Simmery Sims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!